Alright, welcome back once again. Today we're talking about adding and subtracting matrices. So I don't know how many of you have seen the movie The Matrix, but that's what I think of when I think of the word matrices. Just something I thought was kind of funny. So let's go on to the lesson. The first thing you need to know is what a matrix even is, okay? It's not like the movie The Matrix. That was just a little joke, so let's talk about what a matrix means mathematically. A matrix is a rectangular arrangement of numbers into horizontal rows and vertical columns, and each number in the matrix is called an entry or an element. Okay? So I'll pull all this down here. Here's what a matrix looks like. Okay? A matrix is this right here. It's a rectangular. Notice you could make a little rectangle around it. Alright? And it's just got numbers inside of it. The size of a matrix is described like this. You say the number of rows there are by the number of columns. So, in this case, my rows, notice my rows are always side to side. My columns are the up and downs. So the number of rows is 4, and the number of columns is 2. Okay, or actually, sorry, that's wrong. That's backwards. Number of rows, there's 1, 2 rows. Okay, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. So this is a 2 by 4 matrix. Okay, if they ask for the size of it, it's a 2 by 4. 2 rows by 4 columns. And this is what a matrix looks like. When you write a matrix, you always need to put these little brackets around it. Okay, and then you just fill in the numbers accordingly. And I'll show you how to make a matrix as well. Alright, let's keep going. Okay, your first objective is to organize data in a matrix. So to make one, this says write a matrix to organize the following information about your CD collection. You've got some country CDs. They're divided up into, you got 4 country groups, 4 country solo artists, and then a collection would be like a best of or like a Christmas CD or something like that of that genre. Okay, so then you got rock, you got groups, solo artists, and collections. Then you got blues, so on and so forth. That's what's in your CD collection. So we want to make a matrix for this. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start by making my brackets. Okay. Now I can kind of decide how I want to organize this. I know I've got to include all 3 different kinds of music. So here's country. It's going to be in this row. Then the middle row we're going to have the numbers for rock. And we got to have some blues too. Alright, those are our rows. Then for our columns, we've got groups, we've got solo artists, and we've got collections. Alright, now I just have to fill in my numbers accordingly. Well, I've got 4 country groups, so that goes where country and groups meet each other. So my 4 goes right here. Okay, I got 6 country solo artists, so I look where they cross. Country and solo artists, that needs to go in the first row in the second column. So 6 goes there. And then 0 collections. Likewise for rock, I have 8 groups, 3 solo artists, and 3 collections. Then for blues, I've got 1 group, 5 solo artists, and 2 collections. So there's my matrix of data for my CD collection. Okay? You need to make sure you label the outsides of your matrix and then fill in numbers accordingly. Okay, again, make sure your outsides have labels. Alright, let's keep on going. Okay, objective 2 is to be able to add and subtract matrices. So we got to figure out how we can add and subtract them. To add or subtract matrices, you just add their corresponding entries. So we'll show you what that looks like. But this part is very important. It says each matrix must have the same number of rows and columns. Okay, so here, notice, I've got a 3 by 2 matrix, and I'm adding that to a 3 by 2 matrix. Here I've got a 2 by 2 matrix, and I'm subtracting a 2 by 2 matrix. Okay, I could not take a 3 by 2 matrix and add a 2 by 3 matrix. That doesn't work. They have to have the same rows, so these each have 3 rows, and the same columns. These each have 2 columns to be able to add them together. Alright, well we're going to add these together, and we're just going to make one brand new matrix. Alright, well I've got a first row and first column. Okay, so I'm looking at the first row, first column of this one, and I want to add the first row, first column of this one. Well, 4 plus 1 gives me 5 in the first row, first column here. Then for this second row, first column, I want to take 0 plus 2. That gives me a 2 right here. And then for the next one, I'm going to take negative 5 plus 6, and that gives me 1. Alright? Then I'm going to do the same thing with the other column. Okay, I got 2 plus 0. That is 2. Then negative 3 plus negative 1 is negative 4. And then 1 plus negative 4 is negative 3. Okay? And here's my new matrix. This is my answer right here when I add it together. And if I've done this correctly, my answer matrix should have the same rows and columns of my other two. So this is still a 3 by 2 matrix. Okay, I just added them together. We do the same thing for subtracting them. We're going to make a new matrix here, and it should be a 2 by 2 matrix. Well, I've got to take first 10 minus 4, and that gives me 6. I'm going to go ahead and take 5 minus negative 3. Remember our subtraction rules? If we want to take 5 minus negative 3, okay, we changed it to adding. It changes to 5 plus the opposite of negative 3, which is positive 3. So 5 minus negative 3 is 8. I got negative 6 minus 5, that's negative 11. And 0 minus 2 is negative 2. So again, there's my new matrix when I combine the other two. And let's go on to one last example. Now here's a real life example when you might use it. Really what a matrix is good for is just a way to organize data. Okay? Otherwise they don't have a whole lot of use, but to organize data they can be really easy to read, and it's easy to see the data all in one place. So here's our word problem. It says the United States Congress is composed of the House of Representatives and the Senate. By the way, Mr. Beeson will be very proud of this example. It's a good civics example here. So we got the House and we got the Senate. That's what the Congress is made up of. The matrices below show the number of men and women in the Senate and the House at the 1999 start of Congress. Okay, yeah, your algebra book's a little old, so 1999 was a brand new problem back then. But write and label a single matrix that shows the number of men and women in Congress in 1999. So now I don't want to know the number of men and women in the House. I don't want to know the number of men and women in the Senate. I want to know the number of men and women in the Congress, which is the House and Senate combined together. Okay, it means I'm combining them together. What I'm going to do is add these two matrices and make a new one for Congress. Okay, and in my Congress matrix, I'm still going to have men and women, and I'm still going to have Democrats, Republicans, and others. Again, make sure when you got labels for your matrix that you put them on there. Okay, that last example we did where I was just showing you how to add and subtract them, we didn't have labels. That's fine for those ones, but if there's labels, you must include them. Alright? So again, I'm just going to add the corresponding elements. So to find out the number of male Democrats, okay, male Democrats in Congress, I need to add 172 plus 39. I need to add the male Democrats from the House to the male Democrats from the Senate. Okay, well, 172 plus 39, that is 211, I believe. Okay, so 211 male Democrats in Congress. Then we take the women, 39 plus 6, that's 45. It doesn't matter what order you add these in either, as long as you just add the right numbers together. So to figure out the number of male Republicans in the Congress, we're going to take the male Republicans in the House, 206, plus the male Republicans in the Senate, 52. And 206 plus 52 is 258. We'll do the same thing for the women. The women Republicans, 17 plus 3, that's 20. And then other men, 1 plus 0 is 1. And other women, 0 plus 0 is 0. Okay, so there's my new matrix to tell the data for Congress. Okay, so again, you can see how nice and easy this is to read. If I want to know the breakdown of Congress, I know that were 211 male Democrats in Congress, and 258 male Republicans, and one other. and then there were 45 Democratic women and 20 Republican women. Alright, so that's adding and subtracting matrices for you. Let's go get to work.